Look at this man. Lil Durk. One of the biggest names in hip-hop history. Grammy-winning artist. The man who built Only the Family from the ground up on the south side of Chicago. The man whose voice defined a generation of drill music. February 23, 2026. Los Angeles, California. United States District Court. White jumpsuit. Gray sleeves. Full beard. Shaved head. No diamonds. No designer. No entourage. Just a man sitting in front of Judge Michael W. Fitzgerald, the man who holds the power to take the rest of his life away. And in that courtroom, his father was watching. Two actors from one of the most popular shows in television history were watching. Every single person in that room understood exactly what was at stake. But here is the thing. Something happened at that hearing that most people completely missed. Something that tells you exactly where this case is headed. Something that tells you whether Lil Durk is walking out of a federal prison as a free man or spending the next 20 to 30 years behind those walls. And it has nothing to do with what you have been reading on Twitter. By the end of this breakdown, you are going to understand this case better than 90% of the people talking about it online. Every detail, every name, every date, documented and verified from court records, Rolling Stone, and Complex, who had reporters in that courtroom in real time. Let us get into all of it. February 23, 2026. Los Angeles, California. United States District Court. Judge Michael W. Fitzgerald calls the hearing to order. Lil Durk, whose government name is Dirk Devontae Banks, walks in. If you have been following this case since the beginning, the first thing you would notice is how different he looks. This is not the Durk who performed at Rolling Loud. This is not the Durk who dropped All My Life and had the whole summer on lock. This man has been sitting in federal detention since October 2024. And it shows. According to Complex, who confirmed this directly, full beard, shaved head with noticeable hair growth, white jumpsuit with gray sleeves. That is what a man looks like after over a year of federal custody. No haircuts. No stylists. Just time and four walls. But here is where it gets interesting. Who else is in that courtroom? His father, Dante Banks. There for his son. Sitting in those gallery seats watching everything unfold in real time. That is a father showing up to one of the most serious federal hearings in hip-hop history to make sure his son knows he is not alone in that room. And then, and this is the part that caught people completely off guard, two actors from the Power universe walked through those courthouse doors to show support. Johnny Paulo, who plays Braden on Power Book 2 Ghost, and Chris D. Lofton, who plays on the same show. Two recognizable faces from one of the most watched franchises in hip-hop culture sitting in a federal courtroom for Lil Durk. That tells you something. Because when people show up to a federal hearing, not a press event, not a concert, not a red carpet, they are making a deliberate public statement. They are saying, we are here. We see you. We are not running from this association. But none of that is the most important thing that happened in that courtroom on February 23rd. The most important thing is what the lawyers said. And most people covering this story completely buried the lead. Before we get to that critical detail from the hearing, we need to make sure everyone watching understands exactly what we are dealing with. Because this is not a small case. This is not a misdemeanor charge. This is one of the most serious federal charges a human being can face in the United States of America. Here is the official allegation documented in the federal indictment. The government says that in August of 2022, Lil Durk paid 5 men to kill rapper Quando Rondo, whose real name is Tiquian Terrell Bowman. And according to prosecutors, Durk wanted him dead for one specific reason. They believe Quando Rondo was connected to the events that led to the death of King Von in Atlanta on November 6, 2020. Let us break that down completely. King Von, whose government name was Davon Bennett, was Durk's closest friend. His protege. The artist he signed to his Only the Family label. The man he helped build from nothing on the south side of Chicago. King Von was killed outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta on November 6, 2020 during a confrontation that involved Quando Rondo's associates. Lul Tim, whose real name is Timothy Leaks, was identified as the shooter. He has since faced his own legal consequences. But the federal government says the story did not end there for Durk. They allege that in 2022, almost 2 full years after Von's death, Durk allegedly orchestrated a retaliation plan. A hit. A murder for hire plot targeting Quando Rondo directly. And here is what makes this case even more devastating in terms of its human cost. On August 19, 2022, near the Beverly Center Mall in Los Angeles, the alleged ambush took place at a gas station. The target was Quando Rondo. But Quando Rondo was not the one who died that day. His 24-year-old cousin Xavier Robinson, known to the streets as Lil Pab, was killed in that shooting. A 24-year-old man died at a gas station in Los Angeles, while the intended target survived. The government says the men who carried out the alleged plot missed Quando Rondo entirely. And now Lil Durk is facing federal murder for hire charges because of it. That is what this trial is about. Not rumors. Not social media speculation. Not blogs with unnamed sources. Federal government. Federal charges. Federal courtroom. A man's life on the line. Now let us talk about how we got to that February 23rd courtroom moment. Because the road to Los Angeles federal court was not straightforward and the pre-trial period has been brutal in ways most people have not fully understood. Lil Durk was arrested in October 2024. And the circumstances of that arrest became one of the wildest stories in hip-hop history. He was at the airport. He had flights booked. According to reports, there were itineraries through Dubai, through Switzerland, and plans for a private jet to Italy. The U.S. Marshals tracked those movements. And before any of those flights took off, they moved in. He was arrested in Miami in October 2024. Not guilty. That has been his official plea from day one. He has never wavered from that position publicly or through his legal team. But the arrest was just the beginning of what has been an absolutely brutal pre-trial period. Once he was in custody, things got dark fast. According to Rolling Stone's detailed reporting, Durk's lawyers revealed in a January 2026 court hearing that he had been placed in solitary confinement. The reason? Jail officials allegedly caught him with an unauthorized Apple Watch last August. Now think about what that actually means in practical terms. His lawyers told the court, on the record, that Durk was being held alone in a tiny cell for 23 hours per day. 23 hours. No visitors. No real contact. No human interaction to speak of. 4 months on end while his case was being prepared for trial. Drew Findling, one of Durk's primary defense attorneys, raised this issue directly before the judge and expressed concern about his client's psychological well-being. They filed a motion specifically over these conditions. And Judge Fitzgerald set a status hearing to address the situation. That is the environment Durk has been living in while this case moves through the system. And the case moved slowly. Here is the full timeline of postponements because this matters to understanding what February 23rd actually meant. The original trial date was January 2025. Pushed back. Then October 2025. Pushed back. Then January 20th, 2026. Nearly a week before that date, pushed back again, this time to April 21st as a potential date. And then the February 23rd hearing happened. And the trial moved again. 4 postponements. Over a year of federal detention. Solitary confinement. And still no trial date that has actually held. But here is what nobody is talking about. And this is the single most important fact from the February 23rd hearing. February 23rd. Judge Michael W. Fitzgerald. The hearing runs for approximately 1 hour. The entire hearing centers around one major legal battle, a severance motion. Here is what that means in plain language. Lil Durk is not the only defendant in this case. He has 5 co-defendants. 5 other people charged alongside him in connection with this alleged murder for hire plot. And 3 of those co-defendants, DeAndre Wilson, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston, filed a motion asking to have their cases separated from Durk's trial. Their argument was that being tried together with Durk would be fundamentally unfair to them. That the evidence against Durk, specifically the rap lyrics the government wants to use, would poison a jury against his co-defendants even if those co-defendants had nothing to do with the music. Their lawyer Craig Harbaugh argued at length during this hearing that the OTF connection, the lyrical evidence, and Durk's public profile would make it impossible for his clients to receive a fair trial if they were sitting at the same defense table. And then something happened that got people's attention. During the hearing, Harbaugh mentioned, according to Complex's reporting, a message chain. A group chat. communications allegedly involving members of Durk's Only the Family collective. And when that OTF group chat was mentioned in open court, Durk and co-defendant DeAndre Wilson looked at each other. And they smirked. In a federal courtroom, facing potential life in prison, they smirked. You can read into that moment however you choose. But that moment was documented by complex reporters who were physically in that room. And it tells you something about how these two men are choosing to carry themselves through this process together. Now here is the catch. And this is the most important thing from this entire hearing. The thing that most people running videos about this case have completely missed or buried in their coverage. Rolling Stone reporter Nancy Dillon was in that courtroom covering the hearing live. When it ended, she reported the following. And this is a direct quote from her reporting. Lil Durk's trial was moved to August 25, 2026 at the hearing. But there is a catch. If the judge grants the pending motion from 3 co-defendants seeking to sever their cases from Durk's trial, Durk wants to go sooner. The August 25th date was set to accommodate defense for the co-defendants, not for Durk. Read that again slowly because it is the key to understanding everything. The August 25th date was not set because Durk's team needs more time. It was set because his co-defendants need more time. Durk's own lawyers are the ones pushing for an earlier trial date. They are fighting to go sooner, not later. And Drew Findling confirmed this directly when he told Rolling Stone, "We would have been ready to try the case in 2 weeks, but the court appropriately decided that with everybody together we still are not there yet." 2 weeks. Durk's lead attorney told a national publication that his team was ready to go to trial 2 weeks before the January 20th date that got pushed. They were ready then, and they are still ready now. In federal cases facing potential life sentences, this is not normal behavior. Defense teams almost universally want every single day they can possibly get. More time to investigate. More time to prepare arguments. More time to find weaknesses in the prosecution's case. That is the standard playbook. Durk's team is running the opposite play. They want April 21st. They are pushing toward trial. And the only thing standing between Durk and that April date is whether Judge Fitzgerald grants or denies the co-defendant severance motion. The March 30th pre-trial conference is where that decision is expected to move. That date is critical. That is the hearing that determines whether this trial starts in April or August. And then there is the other major development that changes the entire complexion of this defense. Brian Steele has joined Lil Durk's legal team. Brian Steele, the same attorney who walked into the Young Thug YSL RICO case, one of the most complex and expensive and high-profile rap legal battles in history, and helped dismantle the prosecution's case piece by piece until Jeffrey Williams walked out of that Fulton County courtroom as a free man. That attorney is now sitting on Durk's side of the table. The prosecution has 30,000 pages of evidence. They have 5 co-defendants. They have what they believe is a documented money trail and documented communications and rap lyrics they intend to play in front of a jury. That is a formidable case. But Durk's team now includes one of the most dangerous and proven defense attorneys in hip-hop legal history alongside Drew Findling, who has been building this defense for over a year. Step back for a moment. Because what is happening with Lil Durk right now is bigger than one man and bigger than one case. This trial, when it starts, is going to be the most watched event in hip-hop in 2026. And that is not an exaggeration. Think about every element attached to this story. King Von, Quando Rondo, Only the Family, the 2020 Atlanta shooting that shook Chicago to its core and sent shockwaves through the entire drill music world, the 2022 gas station shooting in Los Angeles, a federal murder for hire indictment, rap lyrics being argued over in federal court as potential evidence of criminal intent. Every single one of those elements is its own complete story with its own history and its own cast of characters and its own emotional weight for the people involved. Together, they form something the hip-hop world has genuinely never seen at this scale in a federal courtroom. The rap lyrics question alone deserves its own conversation. The government wants to use Durk's own music as evidence that he had murderous intent. This is a battle that has been playing out across multiple cases in multiple states over the past several years. The argument that creative expression is not confession. The counter-argument that specific lyrics describe specific real events and real people in ways that go beyond artistic expression. That argument is going to play out in front of a jury. And depending on how Judge Fitzgerald rules on what gets admitted and what stays out, it could be one of the most consequential moments in the ongoing legal battle over whether rappers can be prosecuted for their art. But beyond all of that, there is the human reality of what is unfolding. A 32-year-old man is sitting in a cell for 23 hours a day. His father sat in that courthouse gallery on February 23rd watching. India Royale, who was at an earlier hearing, blew kisses from the gallery. Two actors from a show that helped define hip-hop culture in this generation walked through federal courthouse security to be present. And then there are the people on the other side of this case. King Von's mother is watching every development. The family of Xavier Robinson, Lil Pab, the 24-year-old who died at that gas station on August 19, 2022, they are watching. Quando Rondo, who survived the alleged plot that took his cousin's life, is watching. There are no winners in a story like this. There is only truth and whatever consequences follow from it. What happens next? Every date that matters. Here is your complete breakdown of every date and decision point that matters right now in this case. March 30th, 2026 is the next major moment. The pre-trial conference. Judge Fitzgerald is expected to address the co-defendant's severance motion at this hearing. This is the ruling that determines whether Durk goes to trial in April or in August. If you are following this case, mark March 30th on your calendar because that hearing changes the entire timeline. April 21st, 2026 is the potential early trial start date. If the severance motion is granted, the co-defendants go separately and Durk goes to trial in April. His team wants this date. They have been ready for months. This is the date Drew Findling's team has been pointing toward. August 25th, 2026 is the backup date set by the court to accommodate the co-defendants who need more preparation time. If severance is denied and all defendants go together, August 25th is where this trial begins. Either way, this trial is happening. There is no more pushing it back indefinitely. The dates are locked. The legal teams are in place. Brian Steele is in the building. The prosecution has their 30,000 pages ready. The three central questions that will define this trial when it starts are these. Does the judge allow the rap lyrics into evidence? Because if those lyrics come in front of a jury, the emotional impact could be significant regardless of what the legal instructions say about treating them as evidence versus art. Do any of the 5 co-defendants cooperate with the prosecution in exchange for reduced charges? Because in federal cases, co-defendants who flip are often the most damaging witnesses a defense team can face. And that group chat that got mentioned in open court, whatever it contains, the government clearly believes it matters. And what does Brian Steele have planned? Because the man who helped free Young Thug does not join a case without a strategy. And whatever that strategy is has not been revealed publicly yet. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Do you think Durk goes to trial in April or August? Do you think Brian Steele can do for Durk what he did for Young Thug? And what do you think happens when those rap lyrics get argued over in front of a federal jury? This channel will be covering every single development as it happens. Every hearing. Every ruling. Every date. When March 30th arrives, we will have a full breakdown posted the same night, breaking down exactly what Judge Fitzgerald decided and what it means for April 21st. Subscribe right now and hit the notification bell so you do not miss a single update on this case. Thanks for watching. If you had a good time, keep the adventure alive by clicking on one of the suggested videos on your screen right now for more amazing content.